welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I'm here after seeing Wolfman. This is a Leigh Whannel film, and quick, check out Clapperbot. I got a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Cool, right? Anyway, this movie is not in the Dark Universe. It is another telling of the Wolfman story, but it is sort of updated and modern. And Leigh Whannel, I think that, we talk about Avi Arad and Ty West and that. I think Leigh Whannel as a writer and as a director is right up there in that pantheon of modern horror filmmakers. You wrote Saw, you wrote The Invisible Man. And I think that when we approach this movie, we look at it, what he said about writing The Invisible Man is that he doesn't want it to be a sympathetic character. He doesn't want it to be the good guy. He wanted The Invisible Man to be a monster. And that's what he was in that film. And that's what the Wolfman is in this. Now, I will say, the Wolfman is a little bit silly. I had read some interviews or listened to some stuff from him where he talked about that this is full Cronenberg, the fly sort of thing. And it's kind of there. The transformation of the main character into the Wolfman is the central focus of this movie. And they do a fantastic job of how it switches. I love the play of colors. I love the play of light. I like how the sound changes, even the what he's hearing, even though there's a sequence where he's kind of first transforming, and it's sort of like Spider-Man, where his hearing has multiplied, and you can hear a spider crawling across the wall or in a closet, like 2 stories up. That's a little bit strange. But basically, he is a man who is going back to his father's home. His father raised him out in the wilderness. I believe it's in Oregon, and was basically hunting the Wolfman, this legendary native story of someone who gets bit and then gets this disease, sort of a Wendigo, I guess, sort of situation, without the cannibalism, though there is some self-cannibalism, and that's of course there is, right? And anyway, he along the way, he's kind of estranged or starting to fall out from his wife. It's pretty standard cliche stuff. And they're looking at this as being a way for them to reconnect. And what ends up happening, of course, is we've seen it in the trailer, is there's an accident and then he gets bit or scratched or whatever. I guess where I run into an issue is that if the Wolfman is this remote and aloof and hard to find and legendary, why is he all over the damn place in this movie? I mean, he literally is there. We see him at the beginning, and there's a good sequence where it shows, at the beginning, the father and son getting hunted by the Wolfman, and then there's a parallel at the end of the movie. There's a lot of mirroring throughout this film, which I kind of enjoyed. I do think that I thought it was almost going to be excellent. I thought it was almost going to be great. I don't know if it hits those heights. There are some sequences, like I said, where he has been bit and he's starting to transform, which are absolutely beautiful and wonderful and even kind of gross and gory, but they don't go that second step. I think that there are some points that are legitimately scary, though I think that I don't know if you want to call it cliche, if you want to call it classic or whatever, where the characters are backing up into a dark room and ooh, what's there just off screen? Well, we know what's there. We know that the Wolfman is there, or we know that the bad guy is there, or whatever it is. And unfortunately, they do that a little bit too much. There's too many jump scares. I think there are too many times when the family that is trapped in this house that should be dealing with the transformation, dealing with this disease, it turns into kind of an extended chase sequence where the Wolfman is coming in, and it is the Wolfman because it's not a werewolf. This is a Wolfman. This is a man who is semi-wolf. And like I said, the transformation is pretty good. It's not quite as iconic, I think, as say American Werewolf in London. But I did want a little bit more of that instead of the silly man wolf that is kind of running around on all fours and silly, but whatever. It overall it ends up looking okay, but they run back and forth from the farmhouse to the barn and to the truck that doesn't work, and then back in there's a sequence where they're hanging out on top of a greenhouse while the werewolf is underneath. I don't know why, if this werewolf is so powerful and strong, why didn't he just tear the damn thing down? And that's where I think the worst part of this movie comes in, and I hate to say it, but there's a kid in this movie and she's freaking terrible, just absolutely awful. I think she makes every bad decision in this movie worse. She makes everything that could go wrong. The whole premise is that as her father is changing into the werewolf, his love for her and her mother, his wife, is enough to keep him from just outright eating them right away. But then there's also, as I said, there's also a parallel with him and his father and all this. It's really kind of strange, and it felt like maybe it didn't know exactly where it wanted to go because it was kind of scary. It was kind of gory, but not overall scary and gory. Definitely not The Fly, definitely not Cronenberg. You know, there were some cool scenes of spitting out chiclets and teeth and stuff like that. There's a sequence later on in the film where they've kind of trapped, sorry, spoiler, they've kind of trapped the Wolfman and he's in a bear trap and he bends down to chew off his own leg, of course. Unfortunately, like the leg is very rubbery and kind of sitting at this angle that the body would never be able to reach at, and it's just kind of stupid looking. And then after that, of course, he's chasing after them with three limbs because he's got one limb that apparently he's chopped off at like the knee. I don't know. Anyway, is this movie worth seeing? I think it's pretty damn good. I think it's definitely the best werewolf movie we've seen in a long time. And I like that we're getting away from the dark universe and trying to make the obviously this is a Blumhouse film. This is not Universal. But I like that they're not trying to make the monsters anything more than they are, which is just really horrors, right? Scary things. So, okay, sorry, I get interrupted there. I do have to go because I just got kicked out. So anyway, see it, stream or skip it. I think see this movie. I think it's a really cool movie. I think it's a very well done movie. Even if I think that there were some major issues with it, it's one of the scariest movies and one of the coolest movies that I have seen in quite a while. So anyway, I like the new take on the I don't know, not franchise, on the idea, the concept that this is not a mystical, legendary beast. This is something who could just be stabbed or shot or killed or whatever, and that it wants to just kind of hunt people and eat them, which is cool. Anyway, thank you. I will see you after the next movie. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, I'm back with a real quick addendum here. And I don't normally do this because I do think that the authenticity of the channel, that feeling when you come out of the theater, that emotion, what you felt directly, and I've said this before, like a roller coaster, how did I feel coming out of that movie? And so I try not to go back and edit, but as I'm putting this video together, I will admit that I am the type of person who will overanalyze. It's sort of like if you listen to your favorite song, you hear it, 12, 24, 36 too many times and you just kind of get sick of it. Or you read too many books by your favorite author and you start to see their tells and you start to not like what they're doing. I do find that sometimes I watch a movie and then I have a great reaction to it and I think about it and I think about it and then I'm like, maybe I didn't like it. And Nosferatu is a perfect example of that. It's a movie that I think I need to stop thinking about, right? I saw it twice and maybe that was too many times, or maybe I needed to see that to, see what I missed the first time. I don't know. But this movie, Wolfman, the more I think about it, even though I was generally positive, I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. I still feel really cool about the movie. I think it is just a great monster movie. It's fun. It is kind of gory. It's not terrible, as far as like the substance where it's just gore for gore's sake or just kind of silly. Even though I do think that scene where he's chewing off his leg looks like basically he got a hold of a pool noodle. I think this is a good movie and I really enjoyed it. And I do want to urge you, go see it and let me know what you think. And I will see you all again after the next movie. Thank you.